Liver in danger. 10 foods you should avoid immediately. You might be harming your liver without even noticing. This silent organ works every day filtering toxins, balancing metabolism, and protecting your body from invisible threats. But what if it's screaming for help and you're not listening? Most people have no idea what really happens when certain foods enter the body. Common foods found on thousands of tables, routines, and habits. The kind of food that seems harmless but can actually be slowly destroying your health. Have you ever felt extreme tiredness, bloating, trouble digesting, or lack of energy, even after a good night's sleep? These could be early signs that your liver is overloaded. And the worst part, the enemy is often right on your plate. In this video, we'll explore a list of 10 foods that put your liver at risk. Each has a specific and silent impact that can compromise your health long-term. And at the end of the video, a surprising reveal: the food that stands out as the most dangerous of all. But beware, this isn't your usual list. This content will change how you look at your diet. It will show you that what you choose to eat every day can be the difference between a healthy liver and a failing organ. If you want to understand how to protect your body, regain your energy, and discover what might be silently sabotaging your health, you need to watch until the end. Because the biggest villain might be where you least expect it. Ready? Let's get started. Number 10. Fried and very fatty foods. Fried foods are among the liver's worst enemies. Usually cooked in reused oils and high temperatures, they concentrate toxic substances that demand a lot from the liver to be processed. Also, the excess saturated fat in these foods is a direct trigger for fat buildup in the liver. Over time, this promotes inflammation of liver cells. This process is silent but dangerous. When we talk about liver overload, we can't forget cochinillas, fried chicken snacks, fries, pastries, and other common fast food treats. These seemingly innocent delights hide a bomb of calories and fat. Regular consumption makes the liver work overtime trying to metabolize these bad fats. This constant effort damages liver cells. In many cases, this stress can lead to fatty liver disease. Did you know the liver is responsible for over 500 functions in the human body? One of the most important is filtering toxins and harmful substances we consume. Every time you eat something extremely fatty, you force this organ to divert energy from other essential functions. This weakens your overall health. It's no coincidence that a diet rich in fried foods is linked to many metabolic diseases. Another problem with fried foods is the type of oil used. Many places use cheap vegetable oils that are reused multiple times, increasing harmful substances concentration. Compounds like toxic aldehydes are absorbed by the body and overload the liver. Instead of promoting health, these foods become obstacles to cell regeneration. And regeneration is crucial to keep the liver working well. We also can't ignore the link between fried foods and chronic inflammation. This inflammation, when affecting the liver, can lead to a condition called non-alcoholic fatty hepatitis. This disease is silent but can evolve into more severe states like fibrosis or even cirrhosis. Many people believe only alcohol destroys the liver, but excess fat is also highly destructive. So reviewing eating habits is urgent. One of the biggest challenges is these foods are everywhere. Easy, cheap, and tasty, they become the daily choice for many. But the cost to liver health is high. Small swaps make a big difference. Bake instead of fry. Use olive oil instead of reused oil. Avoid industrial breaded foods. Over time, these choices create a cleaner and healthier environment for your liver. And you'll feel it in your energy and drive. Number 9. Refined sugar and processed sweets. Refined sugar is one of the biggest villains when it comes to liver health. When consumed excessively, it's turned into fat inside the liver, contributing to fatty liver disease. This condition is the well-known fatty liver, which can evolve into inflammation and even cirrhosis. The problem is sugar hides in many foods that seem harmless. From cookies to ready-made sauces, the danger is in everyday life. Processed sweets like candies, ready-made cakes, and boxed desserts are rich in simple sugar and chemical additives. These ingredients not only inflame the body, but overload liver metabolism. The liver needs to convert this glucose fast, and if not used immediately, it turns into stored fat. Over time, this creates an internal environment ripe for liver diseases. All this without causing obvious symptoms initially. Sugar doesn't just directly affect the liver, but also causes insulin resistance. This resistance worsens the body's ability to use sugar as energy, making the liver accumulate even more fat. It's like the organ is constantly trying to solve a problem that never stops growing. The result is inflammation, fatigue, and general worsening of well-being. And the more processed the sweet, the worse for the liver. Another aggravating factor is glycemic spikes. When you eat a chocolate bar or a sugary dessert, your glucose rises rapidly. This demands an intense response from the liver and pancreas to control blood sugar. The problem is this repeated effort wears out these organs. In predisposed people, this can speed up metabolic disease development. A seemingly innocent sweet can cost you dearly. Have you noticed how hard it is to eat just one sweet? That happens because sugar activates pleasure areas in the brain, creating a vicious cycle. Frequent consumption will silently affect the liver, which loses efficiency over time. Avoiding sweets may seem tough at first, but the benefits are huge. Many people even report more energy and better digestion after cutting sugar. Number 8. Sodas. Sodas are extremely popular drinks, but their effects on the liver are alarming. Both regular and zero versions have components that poison the body. For regular sodas, the problem is the high fructose concentration, a type of sugar that goes straight to the liver. In zero sodas, artificial sweeteners also cause liver stress. In both cases, the organ is overloaded. When you drink a glass of soda, you're ingesting a massive amount of sugar or chemicals. The liver has to work double time to process all that. Over time, this effort leads to fat buildup and inflammation. Studies show frequent soda consumption is directly linked to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This means even people who don't drink alcohol can develop liver damage. The fructose in sodas is especially harmful. Unlike glucose, which many body cells can use, fructose is only metabolized by the liver. This causes it to store fat faster. The result is an inflamed, heavy, and dysfunctional liver. Also, this excess fat compromises other important functions of the organ. The risk is real, even in young people. Many believe zero sodas are safer, but that's not quite true. Sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose aren't caloric because changes in gut microbiome and demand liver detox. The liver treats these substances as invaders. This activates an inflammatory response that, if repeated over time, harms liver function. What seemed like a light choice can be a big mistake. Did you know frequent soda drinking is even linked to heart diseases? That's because an inflamed liver affects circulation, cholesterol, and overall health. Protecting your liver goes beyond digestion. It involves your heart, immunity, and even daily energy. It's worth reconsidering this habit. Keep watching because in the last chapter of this video, I'll reveal the most destructive food of all for your liver. Yes, among everything we've talked about, one stands out as the most toxic, dangerous, and silent. You need to know what it is. Number 7. Alcoholic beverages. Alcohol is widely consumed worldwide, but its effects on the liver are devastating. This organ is mainly responsible for metabolizing ingested alcohol, turning it into toxic substances like acetaldehyde. This substance directly damages liver cells, starting an inflammation process. Over time, the liver loses its ability to regenerate. That's when serious diseases like alcoholic hepatitis appear. Even moderate amounts of frequent alcohol cause ongoing liver stress. Many believe only excess is dangerous, but daily or weekly consumption already poses a risk. The problem is symptoms take a while to show. Fatigue, abdominal pain, and blood test changes might only show when damage is significant. In advanced stages, the liver totally loses function. Alcoholic fatty liver is an early but dangerous stage. In this phase, the liver is full of fat and starts to inflame. If drinking continues, it progresses to fibrosis and cirrhosis, irreversible conditions. Cirrhosis especially represents liver failure. What many don't know is it can be silent for years. The liver slowly degrades until symptoms become uncontrollable. Alcohol also interferes with absorbing important nutrients like B vitamins and antioxidants. Without these, the liver loses its defense against toxins. Also, alcohol harms gut microbiota, increasing toxins reaching the liver. It's a vicious cycle worsening over time. The more alcohol, the less resistance the body builds. The risk isn't limited to strong drinks like whiskey or vodka. Beer and wine also cause damage, especially if frequently consumed. The drink type matters less than how often it's drunk. The body needs time to recover between drinking episodes. Without this, the liver has no pause to regenerate. This worsens the condition quickly. Did you know alcohol is linked to higher bad cholesterol and type 2 diabetes? That's because it messes with insulin levels and promotes systemic inflammation. The whole body suffers when the liver is compromised. In severe cases, transplant might be the only option. A very high price for a habit that can be avoided. Now that we've talked about 3 powerful villains, get ready. In the last chapter of this video, we'll reveal the worst food of all for your liver. Yes, among all that exists, one is the most destructive. Stay with me until the end and find out what it is. This info could change your health forever. Number 6. Processed meats. Processed meats are widely consumed for convenience and taste, but they hide a high risk to liver health. Ham, sausage, bacon, and similar products are loaded with sodium, preservatives, and saturated fat. These elements, when frequently eaten, poison the body. The liver, responsible for filtering these substances, is directly affected. This can lead to chronic liver inflammation. Excess sodium in these meats causes fluid retention and high blood pressure. This hampers circulation and liver performance. Saturated fats raise bad cholesterol, which, when accumulated, worsens liver stress. And preservatives like nitrites and nitrates are toxic chemicals that require constant detox. This repeated process wears the liver down over time. Did you know many preservatives used in processed meats are linked to liver cancer risk? This link is increasingly studied by scientists who point to inflammation as the main culprit. An inflamed liver has less ability to regenerate cells. This opens space for more serious diseases. Chronic consumption of these foods is a main risk factor for permanent liver damage. Besides direct risks, these meats increase free radical production in the body. These unstable molecules attack healthy liver cells, speeding cell aging. The result is a gradual loss of liver function, often without immediate symptoms. That's the big danger. People keep eating normally without noticing ongoing damage. When symptoms appear, it may already be late. A diet rich in processed meats also harms gut flora. An imbalanced gut sends more toxins to the liver, making it work harder. This metabolic overload even affects bile production, essential for fat digestion. In short, the body enters metabolic collapse. Liver health becomes fragile silently. If you can't give up these meats completely, it's best to consume them very occasionally. Prefer lean and natural proteins like chicken, fish, or eggs. Natural seasonings also help reduce chemical additives intake. Swapping a sausage snack for a boiled egg is a smart choice. Small daily changes produce big results over time. Number 5. Excess salt and very salty foods. Salt is essential to life, but too much can be extremely harmful, especially to the liver. Very salty foods like snacks, canned foods, ready soups, and artificial seasonings overload the body. Excess salt retains fluids, raises blood pressure, and makes blood filtering harder. This demands more from the liver, which already has hundreds of functions. Fluid retention caused by too much sodium affects blood vessel pressure, including those supplying the liver. This reduces oxygenation and harms liver cell regeneration. Meanwhile, liquid buildup favors swelling and metabolic disturbances. This change messes with the body's electrolyte balance, and the liver must constantly adapt to keep the body working. Another harmful effect is triggering chronic inflammation. Excess salt causes many immune responses in the body, which also affect the liver. A constantly inflamed environment blocks liver cell regeneration. This worsens existing diseases like fatty liver or non-alcoholic hepatitis. All this starts with seemingly normal eating. Products like instant noodles, meat broths, and snacks lead the pack in sodium concentration. Often, a single serving surpasses the recommended daily limit. The problem worsens when these foods are part of the routine. Without realizing it, people consume triple the needed salt daily. And the liver suffers silently, trying to neutralize this constant excess. Have you felt very bloated after salty foods? That's a sign the liver is fighting to keep internal balance. Long-term, this constant battle reduces metabolic efficiency. Avoiding ultra-salty products is key to prevent overloads. Season foods with herbs, lemon, or garlic, and avoid industrial products. If you eat salty foods, always check labels. Choose lower sodium versions and consume moderately. Good hydration also helps flush excess salt. And of course, maintain a balanced diet focused on natural foods. This simple strategy is powerful to ease your liver's workload. Number 4. Refined breads and pastas. Breads, pastas, cakes, and other products made with white flour are part of many people's diets. However, these foods have a direct negative impact on liver health. Being rich in simple carbs, they quickly raise blood sugar levels. This high glycemia demands an intense response from the liver. Over time, this overload causes fat buildup in the liver. White flour goes through refining, which removes fiber and nutrients. This turns the food into a quick energy source, but with low nutritional value. The problem is these carbs are quickly converted into glucose. When there's excess glucose in the blood, the liver turns it into fat. This fat accumulates inside the organ itself, causing fatty liver. It's worse when these products are eaten together with sugar or saturated fat. For example, bread with margarine or frozen pizza is an explosive combo. The liver must simultaneously handle the glucose spike and chemical additives. It's a tiring task that compromises its function over time. And the symptoms of this overload are almost imperceptible at first. Continuous consumption of white flour products also leads to insulin resistance. This means the body stops responding properly to insulin, the hormone that regulates blood sugar. As a result, the liver stores even more fat. This condition favors metabolic diseases like type 2 diabetes. And again, it all starts with common eating habits. One danger of these foods is false satiety. Without fiber, they cause hunger shortly after eating. This leads to increased calorie intake throughout the day. The result is weight gain, more liver fat, and overall overweight. A self-feeding cycle that harms the entire body. And the liver is at the center of this imbalance. To avoid this, choose whole grain and fiber-rich versions. Oat flour, rye flour, and whole grains are much healthier alternatives. Besides providing energy, they aid digestion and reduce glycemic impact. The result is a relieved liver and a more efficient metabolism. You can eat well without sacrificing liver health. Simple swaps like trading French bread for multigrain or white pasta for quinoa pasta already make a difference. Small choices have big impacts when consistent. And best of all, you start feeling more energy, less bloating, and overall better well-being. The liver responds positively to these changes quickly. Number 3. Ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods are without a doubt some of the biggest villains of modern health. They are rich in chemical additives, preservatives, artificial dyes, and flavorings. Each of these components represents a toxic load for the body, especially the liver. This organ must filter all these substances, which requires continuous and exhausting effort. Over time, this process causes inflammation and loss of liver efficiency. One of the biggest dangers of ultra-processed foods is that they're highly palatable and addictive. Stuffed cookies, packaged snacks, frozen lasagnas, and ready-to-eat processed meats have intense, lasting flavor. This makes them consumed frequently, replacing natural and nutritious foods. The result is a poor, toxin-filled diet. And the liver, tasked with dealing with it all, pays the highest price. These foods are also loaded with trans and saturated fats, which raise bad cholesterol levels. When these fats accumulate in the blood, they cause blood vessel inflammation and overload the liver. This repeated daily process promotes fat buildup in the liver. Long-term, this results in fatty liver with an increased risk of cirrhosis. And all this starts with seemingly harmless habits. Did you know artificial dyes in these foods can affect liver cell DNA? Studies show dyes like tartrazine yellow and red 40 have mutagenic effects. This means they can alter the normal functioning of cells, including liver cells. These effects are cumulative. The more consumed, the higher the risk. And since these foods are common, the risk goes unnoticed. Another worrying factor is these foods are low in fiber and nutrients. This reduces intestinal health and harms microbiota, which is directly linked to liver function. An unbalanced gut sends more toxins to the liver. This intensifies liver overload and reduces its regeneration capacity. It's a chain of problems that starts with diet. Avoiding ultra-processed foods requires attention, but is totally possible with planning. Preparing simple meals with natural ingredients and no additives is a smart choice. Freezing homemade portions, using natural seasonings, and keeping fruits handy already reduce processed food intake. Your liver feels the benefits quickly, and the rest of your body thanks you too. We're nearing the big reveal. Soon, in the last chapter, you'll know which is the worst food for your liver health. Stay with me until the end. This info can completely change how you eat. Number 2. Box juices and sweetened drinks. Many believe box juices are healthy options because they're made from fruit. But the reality is quite different. These products are mostly loaded with added sugars and artificial additives. Unlike natural juice, box juice goes through processes that remove important nutrients and add preservatives. This turns it into a highly harmful drink, and the liver feels the impact right after drinking. These drinks carry a large amount of concentrated fructose, a type of sugar the liver struggles to metabolize. Frequent consumption of this sugar type leads to fat buildup in the liver. This silent process is one of the main causes of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And worse, symptoms can take years to appear. When they do, the liver is already suffering advanced damage. Besides fructose, boxed juices contain dyes and stabilizers that increase shelf life. These chemicals must be filtered and eliminated by the liver. This constant process creates oxidative stress on liver cells, speeding organ aging. This compromises main functions like enzyme production and toxin elimination. The whole body ends up affected. Another problem is these drinks have a high glycemic index, meaning they quickly raise blood sugar. This forces the liver and pancreas to work hard to balance the system. The result is higher risk of insulin resistance, weight gain, and chronic inflammation. For those predisposed to liver issues, damage is even faster and often irreversible. Even light or zero-sugar versions aren't risk-free. They usually contain artificial sweeteners that also overload the liver. Also, these substances affect metabolism and gut microbiome. The result is a poisoned liver, even when trying to drink something healthy. This shows how important it is to read labels and avoid processed juices whenever possible. Have you noticed how common these drinks are at breakfast or snacks? This frequency makes the problem worse. Starting the day with a sugary drink is a direct assault on the liver. Replacing it with fruit or tea can be a simple step to change your health. Over time, you'll feel more energy, less bloating, and greater overall well-being. Our journey is almost over, and the final reveal is near. In the last chapter, you'll discover the most destructive food for your liver, a silent villain often overlooked. Don't miss it. This info could protect your health forever. Number 1. Milk chocolate and ready-made desserts. Milk chocolate is a favorite dessert for many, but it's also a dangerous trap for the liver. It combines large amounts of sugar with saturated fats and chemical additives. This mix is highly harmful to liver health. Every bite is a metabolic challenge your liver has to face. And when consumed often, this challenge becomes a real threat. Ready-made desserts like mousses, frozen pies, industrial ice creams, and supermarket puddings follow the same pattern. Rich in ultra-processed ingredients, they are true calorie bombs. The liver has to process sugars, fats, and preservatives. This constant overload prevents regeneration and favors fat buildup in the liver, an effect that's not immediate but inevitable. The sugar in these desserts causes glycemic spikes, forcing the liver to work intensely. This repetitive effort leads to chronic inflammation and oxidative stress in liver cells. The saturated fat, present in fillings and toppings, raises bad cholesterol. This combo attacks the liver directly, which must deal with multiple aggressors simultaneously. This weakens its defenses. An extra problem is milk chocolate often contains powdered milk, hydrogenated fat, and emulsifiers. These ingredients release inflammatory compounds when processed. The liver again has to neutralize these substances. With frequent consumption, this process becomes unsustainable. Decline in liver function is just a matter of time. If you love chocolate, the best choice is versions with high cocoa content, like 70% or more, and consume small amounts. These chocolates have less sugar and more antioxidants, which can even help health. Ready-made desserts should be replaced with homemade recipes using natural fruits and little sugar. That way, you satisfy cravings without harming the liver. Balance is always key. The truth is, the liver needs relief, not constant attacks. By reducing ready desserts and milk chocolate, you give your body a chance to regenerate. This regeneration improves your energy, digestion, and overall well-being. Your body responds fast when you take care of it carefully. And to keep getting the best videos for your health and well-being, subscribe to the channel. It exists for one very simple reason: to help you become a stronger, happier person. And the video popping up on your screen now reveals the worst foods that destroy your joints. To watch that video, just click on the screen. See you in the next video.